Well, good evening, everybody, to another webinar gone wild. It's Monday Night Madness. This is your hostess, Diane Hochman, fresh back from Cancun, Mexico, where we had a torrential Caribbean storm. It was tremendous. Right. Kathy, who else would go to Mexico and get, like,
Only you,
it
Diane.
It was a tropical depression, but man, did we have fun. I mean, I think we had more fun because of the storm. You've never seen 50 people in a hot tub have such a good time. And for those of my friends that know Jordan Schultz, a lot of you guys do know him. I'll be out in Colorado with Jordan Schultz and Adam Chandler next week at their Mile High MLM Mastermind. For those of you that know Jordan, make sure you put posts on his Facebook wall all day long about dirty bananas. You don't need to know what it means, just write about dirty bananas. And no, nothing inappropriate. It's a family show. My husband was there. It's very appropriate. So anyway, welcome everybody. Can you guys do me a favor, and I'll introduce everybody who's here in a second, but can you guys do me a favor? Raise your hand. Let me know you're in the house and you can hear us, because Ryan, I haven't introduced you yet, but I've done whole webinars not knowing that they can't hear me. So I'm not kidding. And people are like, my phone is ringing off the hook. I'm like, why are so many people calling me? It's because all my buddies are trying to tell me, hey, Abdul's up. Ryan, we have people in the UK stayed up till like 2 o'clock in the morning tonight. I know who Big H is now. I thought he was Sneaky Pete, but now I know who that is, and he's right. He is a Big H. So,
awesome.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Now, you guys know I am always joined by the incredible, the beautiful, the fabulous. She pays me to say these things.
Yes, I do.
Kathy. Hello, Kathy.
Hi, Diane.
How are you?
I'm good. It's good to have you back in the States, I'm telling you, and it's great to be here tonight. I'm very excited.
Guys, I want to just do a quick shout out and praise for my girlfriend Kathy. She just came in at the top of the heap. We had a big industry-wide launch last week. I'm sure a lot of you know what that was. And Kathy came in the top 15, number 12 to be exact, dueling. This is a grandma of 11 dueling with some of the biggest guns in the industry. So, we did a couple shout outs and we said, hey, everybody help a grandma out. And everybody who did, we thank you. We thank you.
Absolutely.
Kathy, I'm so
Absolutely.
proud and honored to work with you.
Thanks.
Day in and day out, and seeing you accomplish this kind of stuff just makes my heart sing. And my question out to the crowd is, who's going to be the next attraction marketing master that's going to step up to the plate and do this kind of stuff? Kathy has proven that anybody can, and it's so exciting to me. And tonight we have a special guest, and I am sure that this guest is going to help you with learning how to become the type of person that can do these things. Because those of you that have followed my work for a long time, some of you guys have been coming to my webinars and conference calls for 5 years now. Some of you guys 6 years. Some of you guys, like, I try to get rid of you and you keep coming back. Right? Don't worry, you bother me, kid. You keep coming back. I don't know why. Maybe somebody's paying you to come. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just, I don't know. They like when I mess up the webinars. It's like, what is she going to do tonight? So
yeah, it's like watching one of those what do they call those derbies where all the cars crash into each other. You want to see how long it's going to. Yeah. You want to see how long is it going to take for this thing to destruct?
Demolition derby, Diane. I'm usually blowing up the webinar room. I did an MLSP webinar a couple weeks ago. My screen wouldn't work. Nothing would work. I just kept going. So I'm going and blowing. I'm talking away. And so anyway, I want to thank all of you for coming down. And you guys know, I love marketing and I love to talk about marketing. I love to teach marketing, but much more than marketing, I love mind. I love discussing our minds, how we use our minds to become the types of people that we need to be in order to build the businesses that we want, and how before an action always comes a thought. And if we're not learning how to handle our thoughts and our energy, then what happens is our actions, even if we're doing that which we believe is a correct action, often we won't get the desired result. And I used to think it was a mystery on why that happened, but after years of study and studying with people like our guest tonight, I've learned that there really is a science to this. So, guys, I want to bring on, first of all, one of my favorite people in the industry, and one of my favorite people to hang out with. Let me pull up a picture, and I don't know that this is the best picture, Ryan. We have been working all day, but it's the only picture I had of you and me, so it had to be the one. Guys, the great and incredible and knowledgeable Ryan Angelo. Ryan, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm so excited that you're here. I'm wonderful. I'm thrilled.
Likewise.
Thrilled. And I know you have some some great stuff to share with us tonight. And guys, you know me. I have begged Ryan for permission to interrupt him, to ask him questions on your behalf, to suck as much out of his brain as we can in a short period of time. And I'm looking forward to doing that, just that thing. So I don't know, where do you want to start, Ryan? What do you have on your mind and heart tonight?
Boy, there's so many
Let me
things
know
to
if you
talk
want to take
about.
control. Let me know if you want to take the screen or whether I should leave us up here or what you want to do too.
Something you said a second ago about, and I would like to take control of the screen here in just a moment, because I'm going to talk about something inside of Alpha Influence, like all the success mindset. But in my work with different leaders and different individuals, and I've started coaching against to try and really understand what's been holding people back. It's really fascinating how much the mindset plays into everything, more so than anyone seems to really realize. And you and I talked about this in great detail. It's not as sexy as the idea of making $50,000 in 5 minutes through like some sort of tactic. So it gets overlooked. But it gets overlooked by individuals who find themselves in these cycles. And so I want to describe something. I'm curious if the individuals who are hanging out with right now can kind of relate to this. And so you see yourself make some progress. You get, a pocket of cash. Things start going well. You feel good. You bought something. There's a good energy. And you get to reward yourself with a few moments off. Those few moments of relaxation or what have you somehow turn into much more time, and you find yourself back in the situation where you're being motivated much more by the stick than you are the carrot. There's fear, there's uncertainty, there's a little bit of anxiety. You're trying to just really make stuff happen. And it's in that place that you start this process of kind of like rebuilding or turning the wheels, getting yourself going again, and climbing up this hill. And again, you make some money because, when it comes down to it, we all have the ability to accomplish incredible stuff when our butt's on the line. But then the cycle repeats again and again and again. And I'm seeing it so often in so many individuals that it's keeping people kind of trapped and not really making any progress. It's like a wavelength. There's the up and the down, the up and the down. You're constantly moving forward, but you're not actually climbing or hitting different levels of possibility. And so a lot of what my work and my interest is centered around, and Diane, you and I have talked about this in great and vivid detail, is literally raising the person above their mind. My thought is that inside the mind, like obviously, our mind's a part of us, but the part of the mind I'm talking about is like the lesser mind, where the fear, the doubt, the anxiety is, all the stories of the past. You're too fat, you're too dumb, you're not capable. All of the people in our lives we love who doubt us, all the negative emotion that plays its game with us, all the limiting beliefs, all the stuff that hinders our creativity or our ability to speak to individuals effectively. And so my question is, if you can get above that and stay above it, and not only that, but become what's above that stuff, a higher version of yourself, a higher vibration, a higher self. There's so many different terms to explain the same thing. The other stuff can't exist. You can't drop an ice cube in boiling water. The ice cube evaporates. So if you can raise your vibration, raise yourself, raise your capability, evolve yourself, and there's so many different ways to do it, so many easy and fun and playful and exciting and enjoyable ways to do it, you bring yourself into a place where you can really, really do some remarkable stuff. And then my question for everybody in this audience is I have a couple of questions. Would you like to make more money? I imagine the answer has to be yes. Would you like to make more money much more easily? I would hope the answer is yes, and yet a lot of people are trying to make money in very difficult ways that are outside of their brilliance, the way they're designed to function. And my third question is, would you like to work towards something more so than work away from something? Instead of having fear or uncertainty or doubt or something like that motivating you, or the sensation of I have to do stuff, having some really decisive purpose, pulling you towards it, guiding you, coaching you, strengthening you, so that when you do have frustrations, when you do have prospects slam the door, it's just people behave the way people do, it doesn't affect you in a very negative way. You just sort of, I don't know, it breezes by. And this is one of the biggest things I've noticed consistently in people who are successful within our particular industry right now and other industries as well, is their ability to kind of get above the mind, to to not be affected so heavily by these factors that really weigh on so many people's minds, pull them down, hinder them, frustrate them. And it's like you said, man, you know, for instance, you and I in our conversations, if you and I function from inside of our stuff, we can't have the kinds of conversations we want to with students, with clients, with anybody, in particular with our prospects or with people who we're trying to talk to. And this is something that a lot of individuals seem to overlook as they're focusing on PPC and focusing on, you know, trying to rapidly put together a blog for pulling in leads and all this other stuff, is that there's this focus on motion, right? I have to move, I have to act, I have to do. But to what end? And my question is, what are you trying to accomplish? What is your objective in all of this? Which is kind of a disguised why question, but ultimately, where are you going? And oftentimes when I ask people this question, they have a hard time really answering. And a lot of individuals, you know, we don't want to talk about the frustrating elements, the mind components of it, but honestly, that's where the success is. And the most fascinating thing is, with the stuff that I work on, the only people who really receive it and like it are really successful people. The people who dismiss it as something that's not important are individuals who are struggling a great deal. And that's not to say that's my stuff. I'm just talking about understanding these forms of discipline that really do equate to leadership, to becoming somebody who has the ability to really create change not only in their life, but in the lives of those around them. And that's really what we are. I mean, it's really what this is about. We're change makers. We change our lives first so we can experience more of life. And in doing that, we change the lives of people around us immediately. But as we're doing this, we're changing the lives of people that we're working with and interacting with. Because I know you very well, Diane. You have an ability to repel not good-hearted people, which I love about you. So your audience is an exceptionally high-caliber grouping of individuals. I stress that, and that's one of the reasons why, and I've said this to you many times, I even see it as a compliment. I see it as actuality, because in the core of everything, like does attract like. And since you function from such a very genuine, very powerful place, you attract exceptional individuals to you. And I've had the opportunity to interact with some of your students who decide to like invest in my work and hang out with me. They are awesome. You have an awesome grouping of individuals who hang out with you, and there's a reason for that. And it's because of what you put out, the kind of energy you put out acts as a beacon. And we always are talking about this attraction marketing stuff. So I think the missing link in this attraction marketing stuff is, holy crap, realize that you're awesome, and that if you can get above your mind a little bit, if you can get in control of the reactive components of your mind, you will attract a lot of people to you, and you will close leads. Forget attracting all leads. I mean, bring to you people who want to invest in what you're offering, become a part of what you're doing, and have fun with them. That's a big difference in trying to fight for survival. Fighting for survival, not so fun.
Ryan, I'm so happy you're talking about this, because I just sit and say, if you really, really and truly understand attraction marketing, you understand this concept that it's about your energy and it's about your being. It's not about an ad or a Facebook trick. And I'm thrilled that you're addressing this.
It's the truth, but it's not. And this is the thing, you and I have joked about this, and it frustrates me to no end. In the marketing, the idea of most individuals inside this audience is that they are, for the most part, I'm gonna be open and honest, and this is based on research, but highly, highly opportunistic, meaning short-sighted. Now, it's not everybody. I would imagine that individuals listening this evening, specifically those who respect you, would not fall in that category. But a lot of individuals are looking for this magical silver bullet that doesn't exist. In fact, the simplest way to really create a great deal of success, honestly, is to learn some so amazingly basic things. Like the materials that I teach in Alpha Influence has got 4 primary components. Earth element, which is to master your own mind, master yourself. Because if you live in a place of fear, you are going to hold yourself back in tremendous ways. We create illusions and limitations that blind us. I mean, think about that. How many opportunities have you not acted on as a result of fears or illusions or limiting beliefs? How many times have you found yourself in a situation where you reacted too quick in a way that wasn't beneficial, or assumed something too fast, or judged, or just weren't present, and something not good happened? Imagine if you could be in control of your mind. The fire elemental is about your outer game. how you basically make things happen, how you interact with the outer environment. And that's basically how to feel amazing, how to have tons of energy all the time. Because if you don't have a lot of energy, I mean, come on. There's no one coaching us in what we do. I mean, sometimes you're lucky and you've got an individual like you, Diane, who hang out. But let's face it, you know, I woke up this morning. I could have got up at noon if I wanted to. I've got to get my butt going, as does everyone else. Keeping yourself motivated, keeping yourself objective, moving forward. These are really critical factors a lot of us somehow neglect. And then we sit and stare at our computer for 5 hours in this trance and wonder why so much time went by when we accomplished so little work. It's because we're not aware, we're not present. And then obviously we have all these negative people who try and affect us. You know, negativity is what it is. Ignorance likes to be ignorant because it's default. It takes a lot of energy to become a person of knowledge or a person who develops any form of wisdom. So when you have people who are attacking you and what you're offering, what they're doing essentially is saying, I am afraid, I am blind, and my mind is limited. And it goes back to where we started this conversation with the idea of vibration. People can only receive from the vibrational place that they're at. So if a person is in a place of fear, despair, frustration, anxiety, whatever the case is, they can't perceive things of a higher vibration. It's very difficult for them, which is why going into the darkness, like you've described before and in your conversations, is a rare skill trait that few people ever really develop. But at the same time, if you're doing that, if you're going to help people overcome their challenges, you know, your customers or prospects, you're going to take on some of that energy. You have to be able to protect yourself from that. I know everyone listening to this knows exactly what I'm talking about. Having conversations with low energy people who suck the life and the joy out of you, like it takes one of those. It could throw a person off for several days. We need resilience to that. And then the final two elements is water and air, essentially the ability to understand people. And through this understanding of why people act the way they do at a deep level, to be able to persuade them, to guide them, to coach them, to be an influence in the world. And so what I'd like to do, and this is up to you, Diane, is use a very simple trance tonight. I want to help our friends who are hanging out with us tap into some of the power. And it's a very simple trance, and everybody has total control. You always have total control when you use trance. All that stuff about people controlling minds is not real. You always have total control. But with your permission, what I'd like to do is ask you to allow me to share my screen, and then I want to talk a little bit about the success mindset, a component of alpha influence, and then induce a very, very light trance to make everyone feel awesome.
Awesome. I'm switching over to you right now. So all you got to do is turn on your screen. There we go.
Awesome. Okay. Alpha influence. So the success mindset is something I came across a little while ago. We are capable of creating any outcome that we want to. And so with the success mindset, I want to stress this to everyone who's hanging out right now. If you were to, you don't have to do a whole bunch of things differently. You don't have to do a bunch of things perfectly, but if you can do one or two things a little differently, it'll alter the course of your entire day or your entire life. For instance, you know, you're driving your car. If you drive your car and your tires are in poor alignment, at some point they're going to wear down and burst, and you're going to have to replace them. But if you have an appropriate alignment, your vehicle functions better. You don't have to worry about damage. Everything just goes better. And the same thing is true of your mind, is tuning your mind to what you want. Now what happens, I notice consistently, is most of us are focusing on what we don't want to happen, or what we're afraid of happening, or what we're concerned might happen. And then our mind starts playing all these little stories for us. This is where phone fear comes from. This is where approach anxiety comes from. Social anxiety comes from. This is where, you know, negative self-images come from, or limiting beliefs, and all this BS that doesn't even exist, but becomes so real. And so, while yes, you want to neutralize that stuff, and that's something that we do in the Earth Element section, I want to basically provide a tool to immediately focus the mind in a forward direction. So if you look at this diagram, there's success mindset and a failure mindset, because both are a mindset. If you're someplace that you don't want to be, that's because of the mindset that you've allowed to hang out in your brain, basically. It's because your mind is thinking in cycles and loops and patterns, and if you take a step back and look at that, notice wherever you are is because of what you've been doing. And everything evolves either up or down. Usually it evolves up and down, which is why so many people are at this even keel that annoys the heck out of so many individuals. If you want an upward trend that's going to provide you with the kind of freedom that you want, You literally have to be able to train your mind to be what you want it to be instead of letting it, play its game all day long. And so, and this is a very basic explanation, think of an exponential increase. So at 0, it's a neutral place. And then the slope kind of goes down or goes up a lot more and a whole bunch more to the right, the success mindset, or to the left, it falls down all the way into despair. And so basically, the further you get away from the neutral place, which is, the possibility, the further you get away from it, the more you become polarized in that particular state. So a lot of individuals you see them and they're just apathetic to life, it's because they fall into the -10 failure mindset. And essentially they're saying to themselves, it's pointless, why bother trying? They don't try. And those individuals, it takes something massive acting on them usually to force them out of that state into something of a -3, which is I don't think I can, it's too hard, but there's still a possibility now. And the flip side, if you can develop within yourself the success mindset, it's so easy. It acts as fuel, driving you continuously, moving you forward. And so the reason why I want to really stress the importance of this, think of it this way, and Alpha Influence to discuss a system inside the mind that I call the MARM, or the mind's automatic recall machine. Your mind has an ability to be your greatest ally, or boy, does it have the ability to cause you some challenges. And, we've all experienced this. The mind is a fascinating thing, but it is essentially what determines our success. PPC, SEO, blogging, all these amazing little tactics are cute and wonderful and fantastic, but ultimately what comes down to the reason why think about it, friend, Diane uses all those tactics, but why are you here? Are you here because of PPC and SEO and all that stuff, or are you here because you have rapport with an incredible individual who you feel some sort of strange connection with? Because I imagine deep down inside, you and Diane are very similar. In fact, I know this is the case because, like I said, she attracts remarkable individuals. It's this powerful part of yourselves at the core that attracts people to you, not all the tactics, and that's why this stuff is so important. And so the idea with the MARM concept, if we let our mind control us, what's going to happen is fear, doubt, criticism, and all these other factors are going to hold us and break us down and keep us in inertia, pulling us towards failure mindset. It takes a lot of will and a lot of focus on our goal, the desires, our wants, our objectives, and our dreams to really move us forward. And what this essentially comes down to is what I call the law of intention. A law of intention is much different than the law of attraction, because the law of attraction is the idea that something could magically happen. And while there's some truth and accuracy to the law of attraction, without action, nothing matters. Action is you literally stating to the universe and pushing energy into the universe that brings about impressive and almost amazing results. But a lot of individuals are held back in different ways or don't really use their capabilities. Right now, everybody who's listening, hanging out right now, I guarantee if I was to work with you, I could get you to a next level super fast by simply removing a factor or two that's playing games in your mind and helping you tap into your power a little bit more. And what we're going to do tonight, we're going to focus on your passion desire. So there's 3 main components when you look at this success ally, or harnessing what I call the unseen ally. So these 2 are combined. Hang out with me for a little bit. I'm going to show you a diagram that's going to look kind of crazy, but I'll explain it in vivid detail. And this will help you really understand how to make things happen in your life. At the top of that iceberg, you have the conscious mind. Below the water surface is the unconscious mind. And we've all probably heard this idea, right? The conscious mind is smaller than the unconscious. Now, the beauty of this is right now you possess all the ability, all the tools, all the skills you need to do incredible things. And I'm talking about incredible things. You have no idea what you're capable of today, I promise you. And so most individuals are hanging out in this failure mindset or at a very weakened place. They don't have the will or energy to really pull themselves forward, so they're floating in limbo. The objective of using the law of intention is passion, desire plus focus, will, and significant action amplifies you. So see it like this. A person is, in your instance right now, you want to create success. You have goals, you have dreams, you have aspirations, you have some sort of desire. We're going to look at that here in a second with vivid visualization. And you know what, actually, that might help us if we did that first. Let's do that. Diane, can we hang out for a second and go through a real simple visualization, then I'll continue with this diagram?
Let's do it.
All right. How is this information so far? Is this useful, beneficial?
I was going to say this later on, but, you know, guys, I've been studying this type of stuff for many, 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 did I say many years. And the fact that it's here, this comprehensive, and we're able to just go through a couple of pages and understand what we're already understanding tonight is dramatic. So, Brian, take us to the next place. Take us to this this exercise that you have for us.
Can I ask you a favor real fast, Dan? Can you ask the audience to flicker their hands if they see this is beneficial? Because I want to just make sure that I haven't lost anybody, that we're still hanging out.
In fact, you know what, let me make sure that you can see that as well. Hang on. Guys, can you do us a favor? Raise your hand if you are seeing the value of this and understanding why this stuff is so gosh darn important. They're going up. They're going up. They're going up.
Awesome.
Awesome. Perfect.
Diane, I have to interrupt and tell you that the question box, the chat box, is going crazy with positive comments.
Awesome.
Excellent. Good, good,
Awesome.
good. Okay, fun. All right, friends, here's what I like to do. And this is really powerful stuff because a lot of what I do with my clients is help them, like I said, stay above the mind. And a big part of that is to use your body. Your body and your mind are intertwined. And this is another thing that we talk about in Alpha Influence. I'll jump back to it for just a second. The body-mind structure is brilliant. Our Creator, and whatever you believe, believe it, but believe it wholeheartedly, that whatever created everything, whether it was evolution or God, is brilliant. So your brain is built into your body. Your body and your mind have this continuous exchange through your brain. And so the state of your body influences the state of your mind. The use of relaxation techniques and the ability to calm yourself down and basically keep yourself in a high-level place. And oh my gosh, keep you in good posture, ladies and gentlemen. Let me real fast. I just want to stress this real fast. I'm asking everybody to sit up in their chairs. I'm going to take you through kind of the angel method real quick. So sit up in your chair. Lift your shoulders up and back. All right, so lift them towards your ears, draw them back, send them down on top of your rib cage. You'll notice it feels a little bit weird, but the second you do, you're going to feel less tension in your shoulders. When you have neck tension, your brain interprets that as you are stressed and in danger. It shifts the function of your actual brain, meaning that you are less creative, less productive, and less optimistic. So think about that as a marketer, as a salesperson, or as a human being. If you feel neck tension, you're perceiving unconsciously that there's a threat, which is making you more agitated towards your prospects, towards your children, towards your loved ones, towards the guy that you never met. And this is so easily corrected, it's ridiculous, but most of us, because guess what, we're sitting in front of our computers with our arms stretched out, this gets messed up. So shoulders up, back, and down. And notice immediately you feel a lot less pressure in your neck. Once you do that, draw your belly button in and lengthen your spine. Try and basically think about your vertebrae, stacking them up and pulling them nice and long, stretching yourself up from your tailbone all the way to the top of your head. And then draw your belly button in, contracting your abs just a little bit. And then from here, squeeze the glutes just a bit, not too much. You don't have to feel funky about it. But notice the difference you feel in your body. Yes, you're using more muscles and all this kind of stuff, but notice how you feel a lot less back pressure, a lot less neck tension. And here's a big part. Your brain speaks to your body through your spine. So when your spine's compressed, it can't speak effectively. A lot of fat, people who are trying to lose weight, if you want to lose weight, have good posture because, one, not only are you using muscles continuously, which creates a calorie burn, but two, your brain has the ability to keep organs stimulated more effectively so that you burn fat continuously. So if anyone here sits at their computer all day and wants to lose weight still, try sitting with good posture for a week. I promise you'll start to feel the difference. Try it for a month. You'll be impressed. So everyone keep good posture as you go through this process. But what I'm going to do now is I want to talk you into a light trance, and we're going to visualize some stuff. We're going to tap into some of your power, some of your passion. And this is how I want it to work. It's really simple. It's really simple. And in fact, it's so simple that it's already started. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and just pay very close attention to my voice right now and sit back and just stare at the screen. Just enjoy this view. Just kind of relax. And as you sit back, I want you to focus on your breath. Let your breath be like an ocean wave. Think about the water here in this picture gliding really smoothly. Look at how glass-like this water is and how fluid your breath is. And feel the water. And feel the sand. I want you to feel yourself and see yourself on this beach and listen to the sound of the wind and these palm trees and this water. And allow yourself to really be present here, as if you're sitting here on a beach looking at this, and this is what you see. I want you to feel the water. What temperature is the water? Notice the temperature of the water on your feet. Notice sensation of the sun. Listen to the sounds in the background. Let yourself sway a little bit back and forth, and allow yourself to relax just a little bit. You don't have to relax too fast. Just relax as much as you'd like to. And as you start to relax, let yourself basically release any unwanted tension that's hanging out inside your body and become completely present inside this moment. And as you do that, I'd like you to, in your mind's eye, I want you to experience something in your past that made you really happy. Maybe it was a vacation, maybe it was a trip, maybe it was anything that you'd like to remember. And I want you to, in vivid detail, remember this experience. I want you to re-experience it now. Begin to feel it very slowly throughout your body, what the sensation was like, and listen to it, whether it was laughter or nature, and see it vividly. And allow yourself to do this. It's okay to relax for a few minutes. It's okay to enjoy this experience because you're becoming more creative right now, and this is going to help you in business. Allow yourself to relax into this state just a little bit. And as you do, I'd like for you to really experience this. I'd like you to really see this clearly. I'd like you to hear this very smoothly. And as you do, allow yourself to see everything brighter and more vivid and more colorful. And what I want is for you to make this experience increase. Make everything more bright. Make the sky more bright. Everything around you more color, more detail, more texture, more sensations. Add more sounds as if there's a symphony in the background or anything you want that adds to this experience. And I want you to see how much joy and happiness you can feel in this experience. I'd like you to turn this up as much as possible. In fact, I want you to see a little dial, a little magical dial to your left. And without moving your left hand, you're going to twist it and turn it just a little bit. You'll feel it turning slightly, but you don't have to move your hand. As you do turn the dial up, I want you to experience this even more. I mean, feel everything about it and increase it. And play with the experience. Add to it. Make it more exciting. Be a creator. Add more color, more imagery. Be very present and enjoy this. Embrace it as now. And listen. Now turn the dial up even more and feel even more incredible in this moment. Just feel amazing. Just feel incredible. Just feel awesome. Now I want you to turn it up even more. Now what I want you to do is I want you to take your right pointer finger, your right index finger, and I want you to put pressure on the middle of your left hand, the middle of your back of your left hand, the middle of your back of your left hand. Put a lot of pressure with your pointer finger. I want you to increase this experience. I'll explain what we're doing in a moment. Now feel even more incredible. See that dial turning up all the way, maximum, and hear even more beautiful symphony. As if bands have come to sing to you, as if the sky itself is painted the most beautiful colors you've ever seen. Everything, people are smiling bigger, everything is just more incredible. And the feeling, the joy, I want you to let this feeling start to permeate throughout your body. And I want you to see from your hand the point that you're pressing on your left hand. You're pushing on your left hand, the back of your left hand with your right index finger, your right pointer finger. I want you to see light coming from that little place in your hand, flowing through your arms and all the way through your body as if each cell is catching catching the light of this experience, and let it travel throughout your entire body and see it and feel it and hear it as vividly as possible and become this. And see your entire body become light. I want this light to touch everything in this experience. I want you to feel everything that is near you, that is amazing and wonderful inside of this experience, in every possible way that you can feel anything, in any way that you can feel. Hear everything that you can hear that is amazing, every note, every decibel, every sound that there is in the most amazing way, as if it's all playing for you. And the feeling of connected, being connected to everything and everyone that you love, completely connected to all the experience of this amazing experience that you're present and enjoying in this moment. Just feel awesome. Now let all this light come back to that point in your hand, very patiently, very quietly. And see yourself again. As you do, increase the intensity of this experience tenfold. Feel as much joy as you possibly can, and see how much joy can you feel. How wonderful can you feel? How much emotion can you feel? How happy can you be? And let this energy flow through you. As we come back onto this beach, go ahead and let go of your left hand. And look back and see the water and become present inside this moment, keeping that sensation with you. The sensation. Allow yourself to come back and become present in this moment. And so, Diane, how do you feel?
Amazing.
Good. What we've done here is a simple principle. It's called anchoring. It's an idea that our body and our mind are intertwined. So what we did was we just programmed a little button on your hand. So we'll do this again prior to hopping off of this conversation tonight. But what we can do is we can access that energy, that sensation, again, when we want to, when we're ready to. The idea of this is, when you have a lot of passion, when you have a lot of positive energy, you can do a lot more. Let me ask everyone who's hanging out with us right now, and flick your hand if you would agree. In this state of feeling good and feeling positive and feeling happy, do you feel more capable? Is it more possible that you're going to create success? Go ahead and flick your hands if you would agree with that. In this state of a higher vibration, would you feel more comfortable talking to people, interacting with people, and potentially even getting up on stage? Of course.
Look at them, yeah.
Yes. And that's because what we've done in essence is we've raised our vibration. You cannot be simultaneously happy and sad. That is not possible. Happiness is a warmer vibration. Cold doesn't fit inside of warm. You can't be afraid and confident at the same time. Fear can't fit inside of confidence. Confidence is too warm. And so by understanding the nature of your emotions and how to bring yourself into a place where you feel how you choose, having passion, having desire, having this energy, all the little stuff can't bug you as much as it might if you're functioning at a lower place. If you're feeling incredible and experiencing that, and you run into a prospect who's having kind of a bad day, you probably, if anything, feel pity for the individual instead of absorbing that energy into yourself. It acts as an actual shield. Not only does it help motivate and pull you forward, but it shields you. And so in this diagram of using the law of intention, that's the first formula, the first component, having the ability to access your amazingness. Now, what we did tonight was very simple inside of Alpha Influence and Mastery. I teach a lot more about that. But the idea is to motivate your conscious mind. When you're in a positive place, you want to do stuff. When you're in a negative place, you have to do stuff. There's a very big difference in the quality of work we produce. When we want to do something, it's much nicer. It's much more enjoyable. We do a lot better. When we have to do something, well, the outcomes usually aren't so fantastic, but we have to do it. That's why so many people love having a job. The next component is your focused willpower. Now, focused will is a very powerful component, and this is becoming very clear and decisive on exactly what you want. What is the outcome that you want? a lot of individuals, and I'm guilty of this as well, it's part of being human, so we all do this, and take it easy on ourselves as we do, but also train ourselves to do it more effectively, and that's to focus on what we actually want, not what we don't want. And what I've noticed in my experience personally and working with individuals, if you don't understand how to develop awareness or be very aware, that's not possible because your mind has a funny way of pulling you back into it. And self-influence, awareness is probably the most powerful skill that I've ever come across. It saved my life, quite literally. And in essence, awareness is the quieting of the mind. It's being absent of illusion. And there are 3 forms of awareness I'll go over real fast. And I would encourage everyone to practice this because if you do, you'll immediately feel a difference. Awareness of self, awareness of surroundings, and awareness of people. These are the 3 core components. If you're aware of your body, notice how you are probably still very much aware of your body and its sensation. And I would imagine a lot of us have reverted back to a less than perfect posture, but even still, some improvement is still with us because we're aware. There's an awareness there that's ingrained in us that's keeping us at a higher state. Awareness of our surroundings, the ability to use peripheral vision and just be present. This is stuff that samurai warriors use, and the reason why they're pretty much undefeatable on the battlefield is their awareness of their surroundings was phenomenal. In business, our awareness of our surroundings is what allows us to go into a situation that might be uncomfortable and be perfectly comfortable. To be present inside of a situation, to see everything that's taking place, is to not be reactive to anything, to be completely proactive. Because if you're aware of everything, nothing can surprise you or knock you off balance. And let me ask everyone on this call and this webinar, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you were kind of not present and aware of your situation and something was said or done that knocked you out of like your strong point and potentially harmed a relationship or hindered a business deal or something of that nature? Of course. I mean, we all experience that. And this is why the focus of willpower is so important, is our ability to sustain and control the nature of our mind, to be able to focus and direct ourselves looking up. And it comes back to this concept again. To keep yourself locked in and focused on your goals, your desires, your wants, and your objectives, and your dreams is really important. However, most of us are focused on all the crap we don't want to happen. We're focused on, well, I hope that this call goes well. That's saying I expect it to go terrible. Well, I hope I can lose 10 pounds by X. Well, that's saying that I'm fat, I'm not going to be able to accomplish it. Focusing very effectively on what we want is something that we have never been trained in our lives. And this is a big component of why Alpha Influence was constructed the way it was, is to give you control over these components and the ability to really harness your awesomeness. And I would encourage everyone on this webinar to become very much aware of what their goals and their desires and their wants and their objectives are, to really learn how to ingrain that into themselves, because that is going to give you considerable power. That is what will motivate you and direct you and pull all the resources of your mind forward, because if you're looking for negative stuff, we've all noticed this, right? You ever have one of those situations where you're thinking about something and you think about something else and somehow you're thinking about flying elephants or something weird? Our brain's a super connection matrix, but it figures out how to find connections in line with the vibration that we're thinking about. If you're thinking down, you're going to find a whole bunch of negative crap, because we all got plenty of baggage. We're human. If you're thinking up, you'll be surprised at what you find and what you're capable of. In fact, I promise you, you will be shocked at what you're capable of. And then the third component is significant action. Now, significant action is you being on present at this webinar. Let's face it. There's a lot of other things you can do tonight. You can play a video game. There's all sorts of stuff. And yet, here you are, being present, acting. You're here specifically with the objective of gaining more information and knowledge. And let's face it, talking about mindset's not as exciting as, well, we're going to have a webinar tonight and talk about the Facebook manipulating master tactic. I mean, it's different. So the fact, it's true.
We like to make fun of that stuff here, so.
Oh, okay. I figured as much.
I know you didn't generate 792 leads in 2 minutes tonight, but you did. I'm just constantly making fun of it, so. Oh, anyway.
So, well, thank goodness that there are people like you, Diane. That's why I count you as one of my closest friends. The absence of BS I thoroughly enjoy. But here's the thing, though. It goes back to what we were talking about. Most of the individuals who are trying to be successful, quote unquote, are they're never going to be successful. And it drives me insane because I really care about people more than I probably should. It's probably not healthy for me to care as much as I do. And that's something that I have to deal with. But a lot of individuals out there are manipulated because they allow themselves to be manipulated. And the reason why they're so easy to manipulate, they are not clear on what they want to go towards. They're clear of what they want to get the heck away from. And so if you throw a firecracker at a dog, you bet you're behind that dog's going to bolt. But that dog might run in front of a bus. And it's the same thing it is. If individuals don't know where they're going to go in the wrong direction until enough pain forces them to stop in their tracks, look around, and figure out where the heck they are and where the heck they got to go. And I would prefer everyone who's hanging out with us tonight not to wait until it gets to that point, to become very clear and very concise and very certain, very sure of where you want to go and to get there. Because you can. I mean, that's honestly the reason why I constructed Alpha Influences, to enable people to do so. So combined, in life we have all sorts of stuff happening when these combined law of intentions amplify and empower us. So think of this way, in life right now, you're in a situation you can't see an outcome, but you have an objective, right? So you have passion. You are fueling your energy. Your energy is like an aura speaking to everything and everyone around us. We know when somebody's happy, right? We know when somebody's depressed. Who do you want to spend time with? You know, if you're a person who has to rescue people, maybe you go towards a depressed person, but ultimately all of us who want to go towards a higher vibration person, all of us do. If you're a high vibration, you are attracting things to you because that's how it goes. Everything wants to gain energy. Everything else is trying to take it. So if you are in a passion place, think about how you felt a second ago. Do you not think that you are emitting positive energy? Of course you were. If you did that on a daily basis, think about the level of energy you would possess. You would emanate. It's to use words that Diane talked about. Instead of talking about money, you would smell and resonate money. The next is the focus. Where are you going? The more clear you are, the more objective you are. You're pulling all your mental resources, but you're also connecting the source. And ladies and gentlemen, the reason I call this course Alpha Influence is there is one powerful influence in this universe. I'm not going to go into some theoretical conversation here, but I do know that we have the ability to tap into this alpha influence. And if we do, we can't be stopped. And this is up for you to believe however you want to believe, but honestly, it's something that's talked about in every single religion, and every belief out there acknowledges this, including atheism in some way, shape, or form. Significant action. Action is the most important key. So these three components combined are the law of intention. What they do is they summon forth what I call the unseen ally. Now, the unseen ally cannot be stopped. It is absolute, and it is a part of you. I want you to imagine the most immensely powerful guardian angel or guardian ascended master or whatever you want standing by your side right now with a solemn face who wants to get stuff done but needs your direction. And if you're uncertain, guess what's going to happen? Your unseen ally ain't going to help you. I mean, they will attempt to in some way, shape, or form, but typically, if you're unsure, what the unseen ally is going to do is allow you to repeat patterns multiple times so that you learn something. Anyone experience that? The idea of you can't move on until you learn something? That's what happens if you're not clear on stuff, or if your emotions are in different places. You're forced to experience a lot of things you don't want to experience to put you into a place where you're ready to move forward.
You know, Ryan, the way I like to describe this myself is, and I love your unseen ally. I love that. I call it the overprotective mother. The overprotective mother that doesn't want to let you cross the street, because it's your subconscious is so busy trying to protect you. If you're not clear about where you're going to the other side of the street and clear about how you're going to go over there, the overprotective mother will just keep holding you back, grabbing your hand, keeping you from going where you were born to go. And it's that clarity that you're talking about that allows us to, it allows our mind to let us go there. It's so powerful. This stuff is just so cool.
And what happens too is we have in our lives conscious limitations, right? There's people that we have to meet or connect with, or there's things have to happen and line up that we almost can't predict. So when the law of intention is in line, and when the unseen ally is called upon, when our protective mother finally is like, okay, go that direction.
Yeah, they're grown up. Let them go.
The unseen ally doesn't have any limitations and will seek out the solutions and bring it back to us that guides us past these limiting factors that are frustrating us so that we do get to our desired outcome. And I have seen and experienced this, and many times it is absolutely fascinating. It was actually one of the reasons why I sat down and created this training system. Anyhow, Diane, I want to go and answer some questions, but that's pretty much the content I was going to provide this evening. I want to offer everyone a chance to look at the website. I have a special offer for the individuals who are hanging out this evening. It's an offer I haven't made since November of last year, and I'm probably not going to make it again. Do you mind if I was to share this with them?
Now, I'm dying for you to share it with them, because just alone the anchoring that you taught us tonight, what if all of us could learn techniques where we could recreate feelings that we want to create over and over and over, and what if we could tap into that at any time to take us through whatever was challenging? So Ryan, show us what it is, and then let's talk a little bit.
This is, everyone, if you would, go to leaderconfessions.com/offer. And so something I'm going to do is anyone who acts on this evening, I have a timer set up. It's going to be taken down at midnight, because I'm going to be selling these two products, I think, separately for $97 a piece. This is kind of a special thing because Diane...
You're not going to do what I think you're going to do here, are you?
What's that?
Oh, my gosh. No, just keep talking. I'm just excited because I think I know where you might be going, and this is pretty darn exciting. I'm honored. So
what I'm going to do is anyone who acts on this tonight, I'm going to have another webinar, a private webinar that will be invitation only, and I'm going to take all of us through the 3 different trances of summoning the unseen ally. Now, we did part of one tonight. That was like the light, simple version. We're going to do it much more and really ingrain it so that you can basically push a button and feel awesome. We're going to become hyper clear on what you want out of life and make it so clear and so concise that your mind will subconsciously be working towards it as you're consciously working towards it, and we'll figure out how to put in all the steps in between. And then with action, I'm going to teach anyone who acts on this evening a technique for compelling yourself into action in such a way that you're excited about it. I don't know if any of us have those days where we're feeling the weight of inertia and we don't want to move forward. I'm going to give you a technique that will allow you to pretty much catapult your behind off your chair in a way that is really quite profound. So, in essence, go to leaderconfessions.com/offer, and Alpha Influence has received feedback from, I have immense amounts of social proof. It really changes lives. It is very powerful, and I'm putting it back on the market only right now. Because I've been asked to for the last 6 months. Think of it this way. Alpha Influence is a guidebook for unlocking your potential. And I can promise you right now that you have more than you can even fathom. And that potential is essentially what allows you to make money. And this isn't simply how do you be successful in network marketing and home business. This is how you kick butt in life and really live life to the fullest. And I'm talking about to the fullest. In addition, what I've done is and Diane, I want to add you to this, by the way. I need to schedule time with you if you're open. But I took some of the top leaders in this entire industry, and I dug into their minds to ask them important questions, like deep down, behind-the-scenes stuff that they don't usually talk about how they became successful, how they get prospects, overcome fear, create success when they had nothing, or deal with critics, become and stay motivated, overcome objections, and really, the core skills that allow them to create wealth. And, I mean, you know me, I kind of go in deep. And so there's some amazing information here from a lot of individuals. And then additionally, what I'm going to do is provide 5 training videos, and I forgot I included this, so this is
I know,
nice
that's
bonus.
why I'm freaking out. I'm looking at the offer. I'm like, oh my gosh.
These are 5 training videos that teach how to use Alpha Influence for the purpose of prospecting, enhancing confidence, negating and removing not only phone fear, but fear itself, neutralizing objections, and effectively closing deals. Basically, how to sell without ever selling, which is a very fun and very effective technique. And in a sense, I'm doing it right now because I know what kind of clients and prospects I want, and they're already acting on this. So I don't have to actually hard sell anybody because these are incredible individuals who get the value of this. But for this evening, it's going to be only $97, which, I mean, honestly, is I would have to say fairly reasonable considering what you're going to be getting.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Vanessa's here. She's like, oh my gosh, I've never seen it bundled like this. That's why I'm freaking out. So.
Well, this is, like I said, I haven't done this since November of last year, and I haven't had Alpha Influence online since I think November of last year too.
Exactly.
So yeah, so
it
it's a
has
big
not
deal.
been available. I know I've checked multiple times. So I'm serious. I mean, I think as of today, the site's still closed, is it not, or is it open?
Yeah, the site's still closed.
So you can't get this right now, guys. This is incredible.
Yeah, well, because like I said, Diane, like attracts like, and you and I have a similar path that we're walking. And so, and like I said, the types of people that you attract to yourself, I really want to give you kudos for. You attract a higher caliber of individuals. I'm still very curious about how you do that, and I want to spend some more time hanging out and working with you, actually, because the quality of your audience are people who are really seriously amazing go-getters, and they are like bullshit hunters. Forgive my language, but they don't. And I love that, by the way, because I can't stand BS. It frustrates me. And so you have attracted an audience of people who are very savvy, and I think that's really cool.
I love my audience and have worked very hard to attract these exact people. So thank you for recognizing that and noticing it. It means a lot.
Thank you for doing it. If you'd like, at this point, I'd be happy to entertain any questions if there are any questions.
Great. Let me just say a word first, and then we'll go. So, guys, give yourself a second and jot down any questions that you have. Guys, I said it earlier in the call. I can't tell you the books upon books upon books, the tapes upon tapes upon tapes that I have invested my time and my money into over the years. So when I met Ryan, I mean, we met at an event a while ago, and we kind of like, you know, hey, it was great, how are you? And then we got to know each other better. And we figured out very quickly that we're kind of like peas and carrots, because our love for this information and being able to, you know, I don't, and I know you'll understand what I'm saying, this information is eternal. This information is magic, and we are people that, you know, work so hard to convey it to people. And Ryan has had the what's the right word that I'm looking for? I mean, he sat and detailed every last aspect of what you need to know to be able to train your mind. And it's fascinating to me, quite frankly, that a man his age can know what he knows and that he could document it. There's some guys that know a little bit of this stuff and they can execute, but they certainly can't document it. And I haven't come across anybody else that works with us in this industry that has this knowledge base. So, you know, I was excited when we decided we were going to do this call. Everybody knows I just got back from Mexico, so we really didn't prepare anything per se. We just got on the phone and decided to just love on you guys. And the fact that he's giving us this stuff here is a lot of love. So, you know, let's take some questions. But I'm really blown away, Ryan. I can't thank you enough for caring about my audience this much. I appreciate you. So, Kath, what do we got? Anything good over there? Anybody ask something?
There's a lot of stuff back here. One of the most repeated questions, however, is coming from people who already have Alpha Influence and or have just recently purchased the double deal with the Home Business Journey, yeah, the Journey course, and then the Alpha Influence that came after with it. And so they're asking if
this is a different course.
Yeah, it's a completely different course.
Okay, that's what they're wondering. Okay.
Yeah, normally I sell each for $97. So this is actually a $300. I had actually forgotten that I had
I know
videos here, but that's cool. I mean, hey, you know what? It's given you shall receive, I suppose.
Exactly.
Yeah, these are different training programs. The only similarity will be actually the Alpha Influence document, but these will take a lot deeper, and the conversations that are had here are very different than those found in the Home Business Journey. They're very different, actually. Very powerful.
Yeah. Thank you for clarifying that, Ryan.
My pleasure.
A couple of people are very excited, have already ordered it.
Excellent.
One gentleman wants to know if you can tell if somebody is lying by the tone of their voice.
Tonality of voice can be tricky sometimes, especially if somebody knows how to utilize their voice. What I look for in a liar, I don't like liars very much. In fact, I love calling liars out as best I can. But think of it this way in congruency of a liar. A liar will typically maintain continuous and unrelenting eye contact with you to try and make sure that you're biting the story, but their eyes will be fixated and focused, not relaxed, like a hawk staring at you, which is usually a very strong telltale sign. This can also be, but at the same time, this could be a fire elemental who's very intense. And so the things you want to look for in terms of liars are how much they move around in terms of the conversation, you know, their hesitancies. And also keep in mind, you've probably seen this in different movies and whatnot. It's remarkably accurate, and I'm not sure why a lot of people don't look for this. When we look up a person who's right-handed, when you look up and to your right, you're accessing the creative portions of your brain, which means you're telling a story. You're creating some sort of vision or image. When you look up and to the left, you're accessing actual memory. And so when you're speaking to people, depending on where they're looking and making eye contact, this can be a very telling sign. The eyes tell a lot. And honestly, the best, most effective way to tell liars is to really be extremely present in the way they deliver. Because some people, especially dark air elementals, and this is actually something that's discussed in Alpha Influence in quite a bit of explanation. But I've identified two contrasting components in humanity, and I lean a lot more towards the light element, which is the reason why I do what I do, the reason why Diane does what she does. But what you'll have is these different elemental personalities, contrasting components, and the more you become aware of the darker side of conduct, the more you can be observant of it and protect yourself from it. And page 74 will give you quite a few suggestions and examples for how to protect yourself from that type of an energy.
Awesome. Brian, a couple people missed the link. Can we throw that back up again? Because they're seeing the page, but they don't have the link. There you go. leaderconfessions.com/offer. I think a couple other are coming in. Let's see. People are just going on about Ryan is the best. Love this stuff. Absolutely incredible. What a great deal. I paid $97 individually for different components, so this is absolutely incredible. That's awesome. This is exciting. Wow. Same thing somebody's asking about voice tone. You know what's interesting, guys, and this is my advice, while we have Ryan for a couple more minutes, the nature of a question that's asking, can you tell if somebody's misleading you by, different components? To me, that comes from a place of fear. Let's look on the other side about, ourselves. What can we ask Ryan about maybe a simple daily practice that we can use? And we learned about some of that anchoring tonight, and there's so much in the course. But what can we do to hone ourselves every day? What can we do, instead of moving out of worrying about what's out there, I want to worry about what's in me. That's my philosophy, and I've always taken it that way. There's all kinds of stuff out there, but I actually believe that I repel that. I actually believe that I have a power around me that repels that type of stuff from happening to me. Maybe I'm kooky, but I believe it seems to be working out.
No, you definitely do. That's one of the reasons why I told you from the beginning why I have such a strong affinity for you. I'm the same way. People who are conniving do not like me a lot, and I'm okay with that. But it goes back to like that attract like. Well, and this is the thing though. I have experiences in business where I've decided to see the best in people and sometimes not paid attention to what's there, and it's caused me challenges. And so I'm at the point where no amount of money is worth working with an individual who I can't trust. And that's why, like you and Mike Dillard and a handful of other individuals who are very close friends of mine, I would do anything for you guys because I know what you stand for. And it's because exactly what you're saying, the kind of energy that you emit. And this goes back to what we were talking about with focus. Think about it. if you're focusing on being screwed, on being hurt, on being harmed, what this is unresolved stuff from your past. This is stuff that's still weighing with you. It's projecting itself back into your present so that you can re-experience it and figure out how to solve it. I mean, do you really want that? Or do you want to start looking for the good in things? I mean, yes, there are going to be unethical people out there. They're basically short-sighted and afraid people, but you will attract them to you if you look for them. And think about it. Everyone who's here hanging out with this conversation right now is here because you know beyond any equivocal doubt that Diane is firmly planted in the light. She doesn't, I mean, all of us have our dark components. We have to. It's for survival purposes. But we resonate more with one or the other. And this is why I keep reiterating the fact I'm not doing this to be nice. I'm doing this to be objective and decisive and to offer insight for you and for your audience. That you have attracted a very caliber grouping of individuals. They are very impressive individuals. Like, I am sincere about that. But it's looking to that, looking for that likeness, not the difference, not the fear, not the uncertainty, that really allows you to find and connect with and empower these people. And going into an event, a conversation with a person, if you're going into it looking for something like that, you're going to find it, or you're going to project it.
Yep. Guys, I've said many, 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 many times over the years, in fact, if I don't say it at least once a month on a webinar, we do these webinars every Monday night. They're absolutely free. They're open to the public. You can bring anybody you want. We always have something going on. You never know what the topic is of the night, but it's always a good time. You're always going to learn. I've said a million times, your goal is to become a rock. Your goal is to find that place and plant yourself and become immovable. And these materials are exactly what gives you the power to do that. And I joke about it, and I say, nobody can ding me, nobody can knock me down, nobody can kick me in the knee, nobody can get me, because I believe I was born to serve this industry and serve people, and making the money is the byproduct of all of it. And I know that many of you that resonate with the message that we've had there and the different organizations I've been affiliated with over the years, you've resonated with that because you believe inside of you there is a gift. And you keep coming out over and over and over because you're searching to rise into the state that you need to be in to fulfill that gift. I know you have it. You wouldn't like me and Ryan if you didn't know inside of you you had it. And I know that you're looking for solutions, and we tend to keep searching at what shines at us. And those things are very exciting. But this core is what makes you attractive on Facebook. This core is what makes you attractive on video. All the marketing techniques suddenly magically work when you become this rock. And Ryan's words are a little bit different than mine. He has these magnificent descriptions. And I remember when I first read it, I was like, oh, my gosh, the way he was putting it into words, the description of why we go through what we go through. But you were born for something large. And the money is just the byproduct of what you were born to do. And I expect that prosperity will flood each and every one of you. Why did we start the call with celebrating one of our own who had climbed up the hill, planted her flag, and did the do? A grandma of 11 who, Kathy, is it okay for me to express the decade that you're in? Or
Absolutely. I am proud of where I am and who I am and what I've achieved, and I think it's great. Yes.
Kathy, what's your age now?
I am 62. I will be 63 in October.
Yep. So Kathy is 62 years old, grandmother of 11, started this a couple years ago. Something was gnawing at her, and she said, I'm going to conquer this thing. And as far as I'm concerned, she has. And we're looking for each of you to step up and conquer these things and become all that you were born to be. So, Ryan, I get on a rant, so I'm going to stop. I'll behave. You're my guest of honor, but I get going and blowing because I feel so passionately about this for the people.
This is a big deal. And this is really what it comes down to because, one of the reasons why I do a lot of work outside this industry. And the reason why I'm so passionate about this industry is it acts as a gateway for possibility. Yes. But there's two sides to this gateway. There are people who sit there, these little Gremlin type, it's a light and dark component. I don't want to judge anybody because everybody does things based on whatever they're thinking, I guess. but they're those who feed on people's hopes. And they feed very effectively because they feed into their fears also. They promise them things basically to avoid this pain, so on and so forth. And if you notice, if you think about a lot of marketing techniques, how much of it's based on punishment? You know, a lot of it's really, you're going to suffer if you don't learn this gimmick that's going to be out of date in a couple of days. Yeah. Instead of really working to empower people. I mean, for instance, doing a webinar every single Monday, come on, ladies and gentlemen, think about the amount of energy that goes into that. That's a monumental investment. It's one of the reasons why, like I said, I respect Diane so much. In fact, I should probably follow in suit and try and start scheduling one also. But, God, yeah, the marketing comes back down to that. We connect with the people who we're supposed to connect with. And a lot of people who think it's a numbers game are thinking about things incorrectly. It's not a numbers game. It's a quality game.
Yeah. You know, Ryan, you said this industry is no different than every other industry. Every industry preys on that. The stocks, you know, investment brokers prey on you having fear. The bridal industry preys on you having fear about what if your dress isn't this, what if that. The baby industry, this industry. Any industry that has a hungry marketplace, there's always going to be marketers that are on the darker side. It is what it is, what it is. And there's nothing we can do to change that. All we can do is rise above that and become the beacon. Become the beacon, become the lighthouse for those that are seeking safe haven, for those that are seeking a way and to change their lives. Guys, you know my story. I started out broke. Credit card collectors were calling constantly over and over and over. I had no business skills. I had nothing. I needed to feed my family. I just came back from a, you know, all expenses paid, incredible resort. I get to travel all over this year alone. I've been to London, and I've been to Vegas a couple times, and I've been in Florida a couple times. I'm going to Scotland. It's a dream come true. It's a dream come true, but there's no hype in that. It's reality. So, in any case, let's talk one more time about the site. A couple people are saying they had a little problem with the site. I'm not sure why, guys. You might want to change your browser if you're having an issue getting to leaderconfessions.com/offer. Could be something up with your browser. If you really, truly continue to have difficulties tonight, email me at Diane@DianeHochman.com. It's Hochman, Diane@DianeHochman.com. We'll figure it out. We'll make sure we take care of you. For those of you that believe you have one component of this, if you don't have all three components, you know, you want this. Because you don't want to miss out on one of these components. And the reality is that, Ryan, you know, it's almost like buy one, get two free tonight, which is incredible, and I can't thank you enough for doing that for our folks. So if you're hesitating because you think you own one, guys, don't miss out on this. That's kooky, because here's what he's given you, and I think it's really cool. And let me see if I have it here. If you put up the page one more time, Ryan, he's given you the guidebook, the handbook, that's going to walk you through everything. You're going to use this for years. I know I'm in it all the time. You're going to use this for years and years. This isn't a one-time little, you know, I'm going to quick look. This is a reference piece that's going to serve you for many, many years, because what will happen is as you increase your awareness is the right word. As you increase your awareness and you come back and read the book, in fact, I encourage you to come back at least once a quarter and go through this again, because your awareness changes, your what you receive from the information will change dramatically. And this is true of all these just wonderful texts, some different pieces that I've studied over the years, and this is true of this piece. Then you have the guidebook, how to get there. But then what he's done is he's given you a bunch of real people, real life people, and people, of course, you know who they are. He's going through with them and how they utilize this information. Now, I dare say that a lot of these people know certain components of all of this, but they didn't even know what they were doing. Like I was doing certain things. I had no idea what I was doing. So Ryan is breaking it down, explaining why it works, and he's taking real-life people that are very successful and showing you how they're using this. So he's not just going, this is how it works. He's going, now look at how they did it. And then he's giving you 5 advanced training videos. And the biggest questions that I always have is, how can I prospect? How can I overcome objections? Guys, when you learn this stuff, quite frankly, most of the objections that you get from your prospects, people who have learned this stuff, they don't get those objections. I don't get people asking me the same questions as everybody else. I don't have the same issues as everybody else. It's not because I'm special. It's because I've invested the time in learning this. And a lot of you guys look at me and you see me, I'm always fooling around and having fun. The reason why is because none of that scary stuff even exists in my world anymore. You can transcend it. And this is you know, this is the package that explains it all. So it's pretty incredible. Kath, are there any last questions before we let Brian close out with any last thoughts he has?
I'm looking. I don't see anything other than people, like as you said, they're having problems accessing the site. So my suggestion
One
is
just came in.
Yeah. Try, Firefox, guys, has been having some real issues here recently. As a matter of fact, I even emailed Ryan a couple of days ago because none of the videos were playing, and here I found out it was not his website, but it was Firefox. So try a different browser, try Chrome or something, and see if it'll go through Final. I think probably it will.
Ryan, last question somebody just asked, which I think is interesting, and I don't know that we can answer it, but what is the simplest and fastest way to become clear on where we're going so we can move forward?
That'll be answering, like the bonus webinar I'm going to do for everybody this evening. The visualization I'll take you into will help you to access that, because the thing is you already know what it is, but a lot of stuff gets in the way. Our mind can be a tricky box of mirrors, like a labyrinth of labyrinths, and we have all experienced that. And so sometimes our value hierarchies get mixed up. We don't realize what we want because we're trying to find something else or running from something else or this, that, and the other. And so bringing yourself into a place of total clarity, like a strong trance, is one of the most profound ways I've identified for effectively doing that. And once you do get to that place of clarity, I call it working with the overseer. There's another part of the mind, something I talk about in Alpha Influencer, like different roads of the mind. And there are many, one of which is when you're literally above the mind, think about a tower on top of a mountain. Because if you're in the valley someplace, you can see the mountain and you can see a lot of things, but you can't see everything. And so the further you get above it, the more clear you are on where you've got to go. And a lot of people are functioning in this compressed sense of time and space that limits their opportunities. And a lot of individuals who are having difficulties are operating with the illusion of limited choices. That's not the way it works. Everybody has tons of amazing choices. There's all sorts of possibilities. It's just getting yourself to a place where you can see them effectively, because if your mind isn't allowing you to, it's going to keep recycling you in these patterns of confusion and frustration that are not going to benefit you. And so the simplest solution is really get way above it. Like we'll really go into this on that webinar. It'll probably be a solid hour and a half, 2 hours of us working together.
This is crazy. So the reality is, guys, he's giving you the whole course. He's giving you all the interviews. He's giving you the 5 bonus videos, and he's giving us intimately a live webinar. So this is clearly, I would value it at least $497, probably more. So it's crazy. It's very exciting. I can't wait.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm actually overwhelmed. Everybody knows me. I get all I'm like a little kid on Christmas when I see stuff like this. I didn't know he was going to do this beforehand, guys. I thought it was just going to be the manual. I had no idea, so I'm actually blown away. Brian, when can they get this to? What's the timer? How does that work? And then we'll wrap it up.
See one more time.
When is this available to? I know you had set a timer or something like that.
The timer above is when this page goes down. Obviously, this is an offer that I'm not going to be making because it's kind of too much. It's not really an intelligent business offer.
No. No. I like to think of it as I really love Diane offer.
It's pretty much that's what it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is because you're brilliant and you're hanging out with the right kind of a person that this is being made available to you, because Diane is one of my favorite people. And so I support her in everything she does, and that's really what this is about, because, kick butt, live life, let's hang out, let's do awesome stuff. That's what it really comes down to, and Diane's one of the people who are in the top of my list for that.
There you go. So it looks like they have till about midnight here on the East Coast. So guys, don't hesitate. If you want to get it, grab it, and then we will communicate with you and let you know when our webinar is going to be, which I'm very excited about. And I want to thank everybody for coming down tonight. I know you enjoyed this. People are yelling awesome and all that good stuff right now, and it absolutely was. Definitely step over on Facebook and visit Ryan, or give a shout out and tag him. Let everybody know how incredible he was tonight. Keep in touch with him and let him know how much you're learning. And you guys, we'll see you again next Monday night. We'll be here as always, Webinar Gone Wild, 9 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to bring people down. And Ryan, I can't thank you enough for being so good to us. I really appreciate you.
My absolute pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a wonderful evening. Diane, it's always awesome hanging out with you.
You too. And I'll talk to you soon, okay?
I look forward to it.
All right. Kathy, thank you. Vanessa, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Good night, everybody. Good night, Ryan. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Incredible, Ryan.
Thank you.